All right. Welcome back to another edition of VE Live. I'm Eric Lee with Victor Eric, and this is my special guest, Marco Degani with Angle and Volkers. So Marco, maybe just before we kind of dive into today's topic, introduce yourself a little bit, tell us what you do, and tell us a bit about Angle and Volkers.
Sure. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, as Eric said, my name is Marco Degani. I'm from Angle and Volkers. I'm a real estate advisor and also a partner at Angle and Volkers Vancouver. We are Our company started about 40 years ago in Hamburg, Germany, and currently we are in 40 plus countries and we have 11,000 advisors worldwide.
Oh, nice.
We are known to provide concierge and premium service for every home. Like we treat every home as a mansion.
Yes, and that's why I love working with Marco. Our brand is also a premium brand. We like to give that extra service, and custom homes is what we're all about. And I can count on Marco to give us that that premium customer service that my clients expect. But yeah, let's dive into today's topic, and that is how to work with a design, build, and realtor team for your next custom home project. Right now is a great time to buy. I know there's a bit of uncertainty out there right now, but hey, if you're thinking of buying for your permanent forever home, I don't think that matters much, right? The market cycles. Well, what do you think on that?
Yeah, I agree, Eric. This is a great time to buy, in my opinion. Like last 2 weeks, I was able to help 2 different clients to purchase 3 homes that they're planning to rent for now and build it in the future.
Right.
And this is a great time to buy because we are able to negotiate much better prices than before, and you don't have to get into multiple offer situation. You can be selective and you can make sure you choose good lots, good location that has a lot of potential.
Yeah, you're so right with the multiple offer. I remember a few years ago when the market was so hot, my clients were so stressed out, just like trying to bid and compete. So you guys are in a calm market now, which is perfect. As long as you can get the mortgage part done, perfect time to buy right now. And I would say that, I've been in the real estate industry in Vancouver for almost 25 years now, and you've got a lot of time under your belt. But if you look at Vancouver's trend and Vancouver's market, the real estate, yes, there's like little ups and downs, but the trend line is always up. Vancouver is such a desirable city, right? You probably have a lot of data on that, but maybe share your thoughts on that.
Yeah, sure. As we all know, Canada is a great country, and BC and Vancouver probably the most sought after cities in the world. It's safe, it's beautiful, and many people like to live here.
Yeah.
If you look at the immigration status, like Canada has committed to bringing about 400,000 people per year for the next 2 years.
Right.
And about 15% of these 400,000 people, they choose BC to be their home.
Mm-hmm.
So we have estimated in next 10 years, probably we're going to need 500,000 to 600,000 new homes. So long-term trend, there will be always need, and we are not able to build enough homes to cater, it's supply and demand. So long terms, Vancouver home prices will always appreciate.
Exactly, yeah. So let's dive right into it, and let's cover some things that the audience would want to know if they're looking to either buy their place to renovate for their permanent home or to build for their permanent home. Why don't we just start off with like the process of working with a realtor to help you search that lot, and then tag team a design build team like us in. Why don't you share with your process? If someone's coming to you looking for a lot, how do you do it?
Sure. Like at Angle and Volkers, we tell all our clients that we provide concierge service. They call me up, they come to us and says, hey, I want to build a beautiful home. I want to build my dream home. Help me to find a lot. To find a lot. And then in the process, I also have people like yourself that I work with, and I introduce and say, hey, I know a great design and build company that I can connect you with, or so on.
Right.
Looking for a lot, we look at the location first. We find out what location the client is interested in, and then in terms of finding the lot, we have to make sure it's the right zoning.
Yes.
So what they can build or what they cannot build on that lot. Make sure it's not a busy street. It's nice and quiet. We consider views. We consider trees. Like whether the lot is flat or not,
right.
The cost involved. So all those different elements to make sure we find a proper lot for that client's need.
Yeah, and we have special relationships with, realtors like Marco, who we do a lot of work with, where we'll give them extended service and we'll help them assess that lot. So if you're looking for something and you're unsure or not certain, call us up. We'll help you assess that lot. And there's so many small technical stuff that you do have to watch out for, especially in Vancouver, that is such an onerous city. But we'll look at it for the zoning, like Marco says, technically how tall can you build, how big can you build, how big's your basement, how big's your top floor, the setbacks, any issues that we see around the site. Trees is a huge issue. Yeah, and all of those stuff, so we can give that assessment before you put in the offer. Now, when it was really hot back then in the real estate days, we used to have put in the offer because you have no time to wait, but they make it a subject of feasibility study. So that's something that we can provide on your behalf with a partner like Marco. So yeah, that's really good. And then once you secure the lot, start talking to us. We'll help you with, of course, not just the design side, but also because we're a design build firm and we specialize in that, we can help tighten up that budget right from the beginning. The problem with separating the two is we can completely do design only, but what we've seen is if you go to a designer first or you go to builder first, which one is it, the egg or the chicken, right? You don't know. The builder's gonna say, well, where's your design? I can't give you a price. Then the designer's gonna say, well, what's your budget? What am I gonna design? So then you have this kind of chicken and egg issue. That's why a design build integrated firm like us is perfect, because you can tell us what you can afford from a financing side with your bank. We can work backwards, and we have both the design team and the construction team to make sure that we stay on track for your budget. And that's probably one of the key differentiating factors about Victor Eric, is we can help you with that full service end-to-end architecture, interior design, landscape design, construction. And if you tag on a realtor like Marco, great, you've got the dream team there, right?
Yeah, just to add to Eric's comments is I have two case studies. I've sold a few of Victor Eric's build and design homes in the last 2 years. And in both cases, one was in Burnaby North and the other one was in South Vancouver. I was able to achieve 25 to 30% higher value than similar homes, same size homes in the same locations. So by having a well-designed homes, well-built homes, not only you get to enjoy everyday living, it also adds value to your resale value, and your home will sell quicker in the future as well too.
Yeah, totally. I can't tell you how many times, Marco, that the client has come into us and said, hey, I want to do a custom home. And it's because they've gone open house, and they can't find one that fits them perfectly. Whether it was a custom home designed for someone else or a spec home that's not the quality and the standard that they're looking for. That's why custom home makes so much sense, because it's like a custom tailored suit, right? If your left arm is longer than your right arm by half an inch, you'll get that exactly the way that you want it. So when we do a custom home, it's based on your lifestyle, how you eat, how you sleep, right? How you use the space, how your kids use the space, mudroom for their activities, all of those things are factored in. That's why it's really a dream to have your own custom home. And to your point, in terms of the cost, you are spending more upfront, yes, to do a custom home because there's just that much more time. Like every one of these houses are unique. No one else has the same house as you because you have a specific lifestyle, your site is specific. But the beauty about that upfront spend is you get to enjoy that very comfortable space designed for you for the duration of your time. And when you sell it, you'll get more money than the average. Just like the two case studies that Marco did, right? It's custom designed by us, custom built, the quality is there, and they're getting that lift at the end. So it's all worth it if you calculate it and take that whole thing in perspective.
Yes, and it makes our job as a realtor easier too, because when a client walks into a house, I can confidently, present the house that it's safe and it's functional, and there won't be any problem with the house. Versus a home that is just built by a builder. Right. When the home is well designed and well built, it will last for a long time and it will gain in value. It won't lose its value.
Yeah, and if you align yourself with a branded company like us, realtors will put that on the listing. And once you see, hey, home design built by Victor Eric, there's a value there, there's a credibility and there's a trust there, like Marco said. So yeah, I think that's a huge point.
Yeah, one of those homes that I sold actually had over 1 million views on YouTube. And I had a call actually 2 days ago from New York, from New Jersey, that this guy was like, he thought I was the builder. I said, no, I'm just a realtor, but I can connect you with the builder and designer that he wanted to build a house in New Jersey.
Right.
From like
oh yes, we got that
channels.
call. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting, but yes, it gets the attention, and that's what custom home is all about, and that's what premium service is all about, right? So yeah, let's end off with some recommendations for people that are looking for property. Like I said, right now the market's a bit uncertain, but if you are thinking of buying for your forever home, Vancouver trend line always goes up, right? So if you're not buying to sell in a year or two, don't worry about it. In 10, 15, 20 years when you're ready to let go, that's not going to be a worry, right?
I always advise the clients the same thing. I tell them if you don't have to sell within next 3 to 5 years, then we know in long term, the value of your homes will go up. And this is a great time to buy because, as Eric mentioned earlier, you can do your due diligence. You can have subjects now when you put your offer in. You can subject to feasibility studies, subject to financing, and any subjects that you like. You can have a good period of time to remove your subjects. It gives you enough time to be selective and to do your due diligence before you make a commitment to purchasing a home.
Yeah, it's a much better time to be a buyer right now. Other recommendations, I would say, definitely get a professional involved before you put in the offer, whether it's working with a realtor or working with a design build team. We can come in, give you that early advice. You know, you're spending a lot of money now in Vancouver and in Lower Mainland. So we want to make sure that you're getting that right property for what you're using. I actually had a client come to me. They were considering a property. That's a sloped site. This was in Kelowna, but she really wanted a walkout basement. So what we did was we calculated the grades. It was a slope site, but was it enough to get that walkout basement? So we did some preliminary study for her and told her, you know, this lot's not great, but the next door is actually better. So she actually moved on the next door instead. It was a subdivision that she had a choice of 3 in Kelowna. So yeah, work with a professional. That would be one of the biggest tips. And someone who knows the industry, who's been at it, right? Marco's got a lot of tenure in this industry. I've been at this for 25 years, designing and building, so we know this area. Any recommendations from your end as a realtor if someone's looking for a property?
Yeah, the old rule always says location, location, location. Make sure it's a great location because you cannot go wrong with that. In long term, you'll gain in value. Mm-hmm. As Eric mentioned, we have to do our due diligence, make sure there is no oil tank, there is no trees, like difficult trees on the property, right. To ensure, when you design your home, also, we give you advice that, for example, how many bedrooms to have, invest money in your kitchen, bathrooms, and master bedroom. Those are 3 most important areas that people always look for. Right. Yeah, I think that's it for now.
So I think the final tip I can probably give is right now, if because mortgage rates are going up and you're worried about that you can't qualify for a new build, hey, why not consider rental? There's a lot of people going rental. Mm-hmm. That's the trend right now ever since COVID. And rental's a great option. If you check out our website, victoric.com, you'll see there's a whole portfolio of, we call it transformational rentals. It's like you kind of recognize the old and the new, and that's totally possible. So rental would be a great avenue for people, and it can be a small rental, like you said, improve the kitchen and the bath. That's the kind of places you use day to day, so let's make that good, and that can be a low budget. Or you can do a transformational. The tip here is when you do a rental, the budget could be all over the place. So go in knowing how much you can afford, and then we can work backwards. If you give us a budget, then we'll give you the proper recommendation. For instance, if you have a tight budget or not a great one to work with, then I'll tell you don't touch any walls. Don't move walls. Once you move a wall, then you're disturbing a whole bunch of stuff, not just the drywall and the plaster possibly, but the plumbing, the electrical, all of that stuff inside the walls and the structural. So people don't realize that there's actually a lot of nuances to renovation, but it's completely possible. And the beauty about renovation is you can stage it. So if your finances are tough now, just work on the kitchen bath first. and then next year, when the mortgage rates comes down or whatever, or you save a little bit more, then work on the debt. So it's great. We're helping a couple right now on Victoria Street, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're phasing into 3 phases. So there's creative ways that we can help make that dream home a reality, and you don't have to wait. Any comments on renovations?
Yeah, and in terms of benefiting from these projects is going to a neighborhood that, say for example, like brand new homes are selling for $3 million, and buy an older home which costs maybe $2 million and invest $200,000-$300,000 to renovate it. You're already ahead about $700,000 by renovating your home tastefully, and say for instance, adding an extra bedroom to make it 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom, you'll be ahead of the game.
Right. Yeah, great. I think we covered a lot of content today, a lot of tips, a lot of things for you to think about. Let me check if there's any questions. I don't think there was, right? Okay, great. So yeah, let's end off. Marco, how do people get in touch with you?
Call me, 778-668-1909.
Great. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you again for coming on to our VE Live. We're going to have this regularly and always give you informational content. So please follow, like, check in with us, and we'll see you on the next VE Live.
Thank you. Bye-bye.